my top 10 dip machines. What's up, beautiful people? Nathan Clark coming to you from Domination Nation Gym. I'm going to rank my dedicated dip machines today. I have 10 of them I'm going to show you. So I've used many dip machines. I haven't used all of them, but I've used many of them. I remember my first dip machine was one of those cheap Titan dips. It's just like a swivel lever. I've evolved from that to all sorts of dip machines and in between. This is going to be separate from Tricep kickback machines. I actually have 5 specific dedicated Tricep kickback machines. We're only reviewing the actual dip machine today. Some of them are you can use as a combination, but I'm only going to show you the dedicated dip machines today, and I'll show you in a different video the Tricep kickback machines and rank all 5 of mine. Stay tuned to the end. I'm going to give you a list of additional dip machines that I'm not going to rank today that are excellent dip machines that if you find them, you can invest in them for your specific gym. Also, stay tuned to the end. I'm going to show you, I just barely, literally an hour ago, got a brand new machine. I'm just going to show you a sneak peek just because I can, just because it's fun. All right, so number 10, we're going to start out with the Nautilus multi-exercise machine. So this is one of Nautilus's best pieces, honestly. A lot of vintage Nautilus is just whatever with a chain, and you have a lot of friction, and just techniques have evolved, machines have evolved to be better than the original Nautilus. But this is one of the machines from the original line that it's just excellent because you can use it for so many different things. So this has got dip bars. So the benefit of this is you can do weighted dips. What I use this for almost exclusively is negative dips. The nice thing is you can walk up this platform and do a slow negative eccentric dip with more weight than you can do on the concentric. That's the main benefit of this. The downside is there's a little instability with just the nature of this type of dip. And these bars are a little wider than I like. If they were a little more narrow or if they adjusted, it would be even better. But let me show you how I like to use it. So here you can see I'm just doing some upright dips. The cool thing is this leverage system is extremely smooth. Those of you who've used this know that. It doesn't feel like chain, it actually feels like cable. So here you're going to see I'm going to walk up and walk up the platform and then just do a slow negative dip. So I'm focusing only on the eccentric. That's the main benefit of this machine. Now for me, I actually prefer to use this machine and many others facing away. I just find it's more comfortable because I'm able to keep my torso upright a little bit easier and focus mostly on triceps. Facing in the machine, you can get a little bit of chest, but I just find this position here is superior for lots of dips. So I've also got a pitch shark. I have a pitch shark machine you can do weighted dips on, but it's actually much easier on this because the leverage of where the belt meets the belt squat machine on the pitch shark, it doesn't match up very well. It actually matches, the leverage is much better here because you have to grab like the more proximal hole, and it's way too hard for most people. All right, check this out. So number 9, I'm going to do the Life Fitness Assist dip machine. So I've had this for years, almost 10 years. My kids love it. Like people that use my gym love this thing for pull-ups, and I love it too. But the nice thing is these dip handles move in and out. I love the fact that I can keep my core stable. The problem with like regular dip machines where people just put weight on, your feet are unstable, puts a ton of stress and pressure on your shoulders, and you're not able to keep an upright torso. It tends to bring you forward, which is okay. You can hit a little chest, but it's just too much anterior deltoid strain for me. The more I can keep my torso upright and stable, the better. So the cool thing with the pad here is you can engage your core. Watch how I like to use it. You literally flex your abs while you're doing it, and you can just you can force your shoulder to go in full extension so that you can focus only on elbow flexion and elbow extension. So this is a very stable position rather than having it here where you're getting a ton of elbow strain. You're able to actually isolate the medial and lateral head of the tricep. All right, so definitely an underrated machine to use. This is how I like to use it. You can see I would rather use the assisted machine with this weighted vest and just put weight on the vest because, like I said, I can engage my core. I can be more upright to hit more tricep. It's a much more stable position. So I would rather put like 40 pounds or 20 pounds on this assist and just guide the movement and engage my core and just add weight on this vest than I would take that knee pad out and just try to do it freely. Again, like as I mentioned with the other one, to me, I actually prefer this facing away from the machine. It's just much more comfortable. The more I can keep my elbows behind my shoulders, the more I can hit my triceps, honestly. All right, check this out. Number 8, I'm going to do the Arsenal tricep machine. Now, this is the the only machine I'm going to show you today that you actually can use as a kickback, that doubles as a kickback. I have a couple I'm going to show you when I do the other video, but this works phenomenally well for dips as well. The main reason I like this, and I think it's even better than the old school Nebula, look at how you can adjust this pad. So dips work phenomenal when your pad's all the way up, and these knobs are very comfortable. So as I'm going to show you, one of my favorite ways to do dips is a reverse grip. Without, the neutral grip is okay, but when you can put your triceps in that reverse, it hits that short outer head like phenomenally well. All right, so I've shown this on here before. This is probably my favorite piece from the Arsenal line. It's a very small footprint. Those knobs are extremely comfortable. If the handle's width adjusted a little bit, it would be better. And what I would say is when you do a super heavy weight, it's not the ideal strength curve. The ideal strength curve is to have a slight taper at the very end of the movement. This gets harder to the very end, but it works well in 10 to 15 rep range. And it's just very stable, especially with the pad forward. Just puts you in a great position to dip. All right, check this out. Number 7 is the Trac dip. This is from the Inspiration line. Honestly, the best piece in the line by far. Very underrated, very underappreciated. Most people don't know about it. I want you to watch. The beauty of this machine is the handles. I want you to watch the handles when I use this, okay? It's got the quick click weight stack without the pin holder. So definitely one of the better selectorized dip machines out there. Notice how I can keep my wrist. There's no strain on my wrist. The handle adjust in the sagittal plane for me. Notice the sagittal plane up and down rotary motion of the handles. So the cool thing is this is unilateral, very comfortable, and to me, I'm able to keep my torso upright and keep my elbows behind my shoulders. And again, as I said with other ones, actually to me feels better facing out than in, but the handles are the beauty of this particular machine. I'm not a fan of a lot of the Trac stuff. I think it's crap, but this is one of their better pieces, honestly. All right, number 6 I'm going to show you is the Nebula dip machine. Now this mimics a bench dip. So before I had any dip machines, and if I were you and I did not have any dip machines, I would almost exclusively focus on bench dips. Just pivot yourself between 2 benches and dip with your feet supported in front of you. So much superior to the freaking standing dip bars that most people use with weight swinging all over the place. It's very stable, and you can crazy isolate the triceps. So what I love most about this is the ability to do reverse bench dips with underhand and backhand grip. The only downside is sometimes it's tricky to add weight. You'll see how I add the weight. More or less, if I was more patient with and wasn't so impatient in my workouts, I would probably stick that vest on with weight on it again. So it's such a simple design, but really one of my favorite Nebula pieces of all time. You can see sometimes the challenge is you can see that weight just fell off my belly. Is keeping the weight in proper position. You can even do a short range of motion, but I'm telling you, it hammers the inner and outer tricep. You'll feel that long head engage. You'll feel this crazy stretch. And with the reverse grip, I don't even do the neutral grip on this. The reverse and the underhand grip just hammers your triceps in a way that very, very hard to replicate with any sort of cable or barbell movement. You can see the underhand grip here. I'm telling you don't need a huge range of motion, but the stretch, the stability with your feet in front of you is phenomenal. All right, number 5 for me is the Nautilus Power Plus dip. Now, I featured this on the channel before. Recently, I modified it. I'll show you here. Phenomenal machine you can use inside and out. The benefits are very, very small footprint, very smooth belt driven. It has a cam. You can face in and face out with a seat belt. So tip for you guys that use this machine, a couple other machines I'm going to show you. Drop the seat all the way down. I'm going to show you what it does. All right, so this was already a really good machine. I just added that weight horn. It just makes it next level. So I dropped the seat all the way down because watch how much stretch I get and watch how high the weight horn comes to get a better taper. So lean forward a little bit. See how my elbows, I can keep my elbows behind my shoulders. Phenomenal. So what it is at the very end range of motion, I keep the weight on that top added horn. Much better taper, much better strength curve than the existing horn, but you can mix it. I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes here. There's a slight taper the last fifth of the movement. It just feels fantastic. Feels amazing facing in as well, but dropping the seat all the way down. Watch, I put my head against the pad. Those of you guys that have it, try this way. Just a fantastic machine. I love this line. Most of the machines in the line, not all of them, but most of them are excellent. We're down to the last four. So number 4 for me is the Legend Leverage Dip. The only piece of the Legend line I think is even remotely worth owning. A couple things I did not like about it. It's so freaking wide. I do not like the fact that they have like power lift horns that are just sticking out you can't take off. So I literally cut them off. Too wide. I also modified the movement arm. You can see, as I've done with many other machines, you're going to see how it manipulates the strength curve. And I cut these horns so they don't stick out so far, so it's a much smaller footprint now. But the beauty of this, the absolute beauty of this, is I'm going to show you, is the ability to do reverse grip as well as forward grip. I've shown this on here before, so you can see how you can sit on top of the machine. You can watch the video. They have manufacturer video. I play around with it. I actually sit down on the machine like this, but the reverse grip is what's cool. Very hard to find any dip machines like I showed you. The Nebula, you can do this, but this machine allows you to do it. And you'll see with the, again, with the added horn I added, it's a slightly better profile. So I usually have 75-25, 75% of the weight on the top horn, 25% on the original horn. It's a perfect strength for that way. But this is the money movement. So my elbows are behind. I'm able to stabilize my knee under this pad, and it puts me in the perfect position, lean forward, to do this reverse dip, which is just the money dip movement to my mind, that hits the inner and outer, long end, short head of the tricep, keeping your elbows behind your body. So now we're down to the top three seated dips. Number 3 for me is the MedX selectorized dip machine. Now, I feel this is actually far superior to the Avenger dip machine, even though the Avenger dip's so rare. The Avenger dip is just a simple swivel thing. To me, it's kind of like comparing the Avenger pull down to the selectorized MedX pull down. Not even close. The selectorized just trumps the plate loaders in both of those machines. So the cool thing is absolutely how the selectorized function works. The smoothness, the strength curve that's built into these MedX selectorized machines. These handles move in and out, which I love. They get super narrow and they're very long. So I can use them for chest or triceps facing in or out. And let me show you something cool. You guys have heard of the Omega dip machine? It's a cool guy named August Schmidt. I follow him on Instagram. This is his gym here in Arizona. He's got this Omega dip machine. You can see you're kind of sitting / almost kneeling. Dip machine. There's a special dip machine out there, kind of rare, where you actually kneel. Try this with this machine. The weight stack, the smoothness of the mechanism of the strength curve of the MedX selectorized kills the Omega flying dip machine. Look at this. Talk about a flying dip machine. You kneel on it and you face into the machine. Look at that stretch. Oh, man. This is definitely one of the top 3 MedX pieces, selectorized pieces, I think. It's just a phenomenal piece. So the stretch you can get leaning out and leaning in, it's just the best selectorized dip machine I've ever used. If it weren't for a couple cool custom ones I have, I'll show you in a second, my top 2, this would probably be my top. But this is just a phenomenal machine, one of the better selectorized dip machines, and one of the better selectorized MedX machines, period. You just need to jump on this one, and like some of my selectorized MedX pull downs, just to see how perfect they built this MedX technology. All right, check this out. Top 2 more dip machines I'm going to show you. My number 2 top dip machine is my modified Hoist rocket dip machine. Now, in its unmodified form, I think the MedX dip and the Legend dip are probably better. But in its modified form, this is my number 2. All right, so the main way you're gonna see I modified this is this movement arm. The strength curve has been modified. All right, so this is a really good piece before, but now it's just almost perfect. The beauty of how this rocks, that takes your shoulders out of the equation. So those of you that haven't used this machine, the plate loaded I think is much better than the selectorized of this version. The issue with this machine as is before the modification is it's the last fifth of the movement is hard. So when you have a heavy weight, a 5 to 8 rep max on here, it's awkward. But this position is just perfect. It's so smooth. Now I have yet to add a seatbelt. That's the one thing I haven't done yet. But as is, like, there's a beautiful taper, the last fourth of the movement that just makes the movement so freaking smooth, and you feel this crazy contraction at this peak contraction at your tricep at the end range of motion. It's just so smooth. All right, my top dip, my number 1 dip, unfortunately, is a dip none of you guys have ever been able to use. It may be a one of one out there. I've never seen it before, other than the one I have, and I have no idea the manufacturer. This is my standing dip machine. Now, I recently modified this with a new weight horn. It came with these two, and I added an additional one. So it functions as a standing strive-esque dip. I saw a feature of this on here before. There's just something very special about this very simple machine. There's the footrest you can see underneath, but the ability to stand in a stable position to control your torso position and to push down with the leverage and the manipulation of the strength curve, it's very special. And as I said before, it actually feels even a little better facing out than facing in. Just based on overall feel, effectiveness, and just crazy contraction, this is my number 1 dip machine. So just a great stretch. I'm able to keep my elbows behind my shoulders, and you'll see I'll lean forward a little bit to hit chest with this machine. I just never seen it before. You can see this is a little bit of chest, leaning into hit more chest than tricep. So if and when I actually start making my own equipment in this crazy marketplace of people copying each other, this would be one of the machines I would start making. Now, mark my word, when you see some of these Chinese manufacturers starting to try to watch this video and remake this, remember where it came from. Remember who came up with the idea. Because I know that's what some of you guys do. You watch these videos and you try to recreate it yourself. Whatever, it is what it is, but just a phenomenal machine. So special mention machines that I do not currently have, or that I've had in the past that used, or that I would suggest getting for seated dip machines. Number 1's probably the Life Fitness dip. So I've had this before. This is a video I pulled from the internet. You can see Flex Lewis using it here. This guy's kind of weird fawning over him, but you can see the position it puts you in. A really good position with your palms open and your hands back. I actually even prefer to have a pillow or 2 pillows behind me. Very common machine in most gyms. It has the reverse grip built into it. It just sets you up perfectly to get that peak contraction, to start with in shoulder extension and to just focus on elbow flexion and elbow extension. Now, if I didn't have so many other cool machines that I had more room, I'd totally get it. Other special mention is the Flex Fitness dip, which I think the Trac is a better dip. The old school Flex Fitness has a 330-pound stack with the restraints for your feet. Excellent machine. I just think the Trac is better. Another one is the Striver Prime. Great machine. The handles are just a little too short. The handles need to be longer. Those types of machines, I'm telling you, they feel way better facing away from the machine than into the machine. And unfortunately, that one, obviously, the thigh restraints are facing into the machine. Another one a lot of people like and use, is very popular, is the Hammer Strength. Hammer Strength is okay. I I just think the strength curve is off and it's too bulky. Another great one, if you find it, is a Flex Fitness leverage dip. I think it's a cool machine. If I didn't have so many other cool machines and I had more room, I'd probably get it. Cool machine. It's just a really, really hard strength curve, and it's just kind of a large footprint. But those are some of the special mention machines. Using 10 straight dip machines back to back, I'm worn out, especially after doing a chest workout. But check this out. For those of you that stay to the end, here's a cool sneak peek of a brand new machine I just got today. YouTubers do it. I guess they don't have real jobs, so they have all the time in the world or all the resources. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Lots of more content coming your way. Like I said, we're bringing together, creating one of the best, greatest private training facilities anywhere.